The impact is great, but first let's define poor service. We all know what it feels like to experience being ignored in a store or being handballed when we're on the phone and no one seems to be able to fix our problem, or worse, someone's reading from a script and it doesn't feel authentic and the conversation's not flowing. So these things aren't harming us, they're not hurting us, but unfortunately, mediocre service in Australia is at an all-time high and we don't expect much better. So research as far back as the late 90s and consistently up until now proves that 1 out of 26 unhappy customers complain. So that means that 25 unhappy customers are going around festering and not returning. A recent study that came out of a status of customer service in Australia suggested that over a third of the customers that were surveyed never returned because of a poor experience. So the cost to business is huge. Diane Gerson, who's the IBM HR officer, chief HR officer, she said that if you increased your customer satisfaction by 5 points for one of their accounts, that would equate for an uplift of 20% in revenue. So my question is, what's the cost of not delivering amazing service? Because there's a huge upside when we deliver amazing service and it doesn't take much. But the cost to society is the thing that really concerns me. Social connection's a serious matter. You know, when an employee doesn't realise the impact they're having on one human, they're potentially sleepwalking and not realising the privilege and honour that service is in today's society. Loneliness is a huge health epidemic now in our society. We know for a fact that loneliness is more deadlier than obesity, and that in fact it's been considered as one of the major health risks. So there are people out there that don't speak to family, neighbours, friends in a week. And just think of the opportunity that basic small service interactions at a local store, a phone call, someone buying a product or service could have on a human being. So I think if we consider that social connection is a serious matter and we think of how important service interactions are in the day-to-day, poor service is costing us a lot. And if I was to sum up, thinking of it like if you're on a road trip and you were approaching beautiful mountains and you had a choice to drive through a tunnel and get to the other side as quickly and as efficiently as possible. Cut out all the windy bits. But by cutting out all the windy bits, you're missing out on the grandeur, the beauty, you're missing out on the interactions and the meaningful memories that stay with you for life. And I feel that service can do that for you in society. And our addiction to speed, efficiency and convenience is potentially, the cost is that we're losing our ability to connect with people.